Hello, folks. Welcome to the Scumdog's Kennel. I'm Chris Williams, and I'll be hosting this show. Tonight, we're going to have some fun. But first, while we wait for people to get into the chat, let's go over and look at some of my artwork. Just a moment here. Let's go over here. All right. All right. Don't worry, folks. Here we are. Now let me go over here. Let's get some artwork up to look at. All right. You're going to love this artwork. Let me get this up. Let me get you and this one. This one. This one. You too. All right. Yeah, that should be about it. Let me go over to share screen now, and let's have some fun. All right, let's start off the bat. Here's the first page of the Scumdog's graphic novel. As you can see, it's black and white. Now, I might have to alter it a bit when I finally have it done. I already have it colored and stuff, and I might have to do a little resizing on it. Let's go over to see the colored page. I have it over here. Here's the page with the Buick Starpoon. That reminds me, make sure I have this up as well. But let's go back over here. We have this. And we go down here. All right. Here we are. As you can see, it's the color I thought is pretty good. It's still good, but maybe not. It doesn't look as professional. My black and white artwork maybe needs to be recolored, and a little alterations as well. Otherwise, it's pretty good. Not to mention, I'm going to have this re-lettered as well. I need to hire someone to help me do that. All right. Let's go over here now to you. Let's go back over here and compare the pages. Now, this page came out colored well and great. Compared to this page, the black and white version. As you can see, it looks far better colored than the other page. Though I do plan to alter it somewhat a bit. It looks pretty good, especially if you go to the colored part. It looks just the black and white just looks damn good. See, this page where it's colored, it was after I colored the last pages and before I colored the two pinups. So I really improved over that short amount of time. And you know it's Buick Starpoon because he's the guy with the pink pompadour hair with the little palm tree growing out of it. Let me do this. Let's see other pages to look at. Here's another page with Buick Starpoon on it. Looks pretty good. We go back over here, and you can see a closed-up version of it. You can see his boss, who's currently chewing him out. Supreme Commander overall, Baby Fist. All right. Over here, we see this artwork where we have Death Mug confronting Buick Starpoon. Let's blow it up a bit. Yeah, looks good, huh? Look at that face. Right. We also have this page as I had. I used to call hair metal Dr. Death Metal, but I actually renamed him to hair metal because he's based on a hair metal musicians. As you can see, I use a bit of Ozzy Osbourne when designing his face. Now, I won't say this is actually what hair metal Doctor looks underneath his mask, but he did incorporate Ozzy Osbourne's glasses, and you can see it looking like it. Right. Here's a page with Papa's snore on it. Now let's go over here real quick. We have someone watching us. Welcome to the Scumdog's Kennel. Thank you for joining us. All right. Let's see. Look at this again down here. Let's go look at the actual cover to the Scumdog's graphic novel. This will be the first cover to the Scumdog's graphic novel. I already have a black and white cover. Well, black and white line art for the next cover, as well as the hair metal doctor's pinup can be used as a pinup. Remember, I'll be putting hair metal doctor and the rest of them on T-shirts before the graphic novel comes out, so be sure to buy them when I have them ready. But the graphic novel is still unfinished, but I'm getting done page by page. Here we see Death Mug chasing down the Snores. He's the one in purple, while Murder Mouth is the guy with the blue skin and the top hat, and Sloppy is the guy with the pink skin over there. We also have E.T. Allen, the alien guy back here, and we have this guy over here who looks fun, doesn't he? Now you can see the cartoon in the back. The cartoon in the background is all cartoony looking. The background's cartoony. You see the sun's frowning down at what's happening. And it looks great, doesn't it? All right, let's see. Look at this. Let's take a look at this. Oh, no, I get wrong page. Let's take a look at this one, maybe. All right. Here's the black and white. I might have to alter this page too a bit, but it looks pretty good. Backgrounds came out on this panel here, came out really good with the buildings. This is another reason why I want to color it. I had trouble making the windows. They look a bit off. I tried here, but maybe a pro colors, but I did pretty well with the windows in the panel here. They look all blacked out and shadowy a bit, try doing my best here and stuff. So that panel came out pretty good. All right. You can see the black and white artwork came out pretty good. But I might have to recolor it by a pro. Here we have some more artwork of how I designed a hair metal doctor. It was based on Dr. Mindbender from G.I. Joe, Toe Cutter from Mad Max, and Ozzy Osbourne. Then I mixed their features together and came up with these three faces. As I said, none of them are actually what hair metal doctor looks like. Or does he? Could I be lying about that? Let's see. We also have this here with the artwork here. We have Papa's Snore. We also have a panel of him. Where are you? Here and stuff. He looks mean. He looks evil, doesn't he? Here, if we go back here, you can see he's been splattered. As you see, look, he's been splattered into the mud. You can't tell with his mustache, but it's right here. It's a bit better. You can see it's all covered with mud. His snorlings ask him if he's all right. He screams to high heaven, and Gag the Hag hears him and basically hopes there was something horrible that happened to the Snores. Here we also see another panel where the Scumdogs run past where the scum. Well, we have the panel here where they run past Gag. Well, no, we have Gag the Hag here, basically listening on to the Snores, basically being miserable, and she hopes they're miserable. And here we have the Scumdogs, who are running past the statue of Goldbladder, the swishy god of war and tea time. You see them looks awesome. You see Murder Mouth twisting to look at the background. We see Shortenstein and E.T. Allen in the background running as well. Doesn't look great. Now let's go back over here and check 945. Let's go down here and look at some more artwork. Here we have the pinup for Miss Breasty Melons, and we also have the pinup for Hair Metal Doctor. Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at the colored versions. Over here, yeah. Well, maybe in a... So, oh, that's what I was doing wrong. We have this here. Before we look at that, let's go over here and look at this. Here's the black and white artwork for this page, and the black and white artwork, the line art, I should say, is good. The colored is where it gets a little makes it look less better than I would really want it. It came out well, but the black and white artwork looked better. All right, now let's go over here, go back over here. Now go down here. The first pinup. Now the pinup here came out well. I colored it as good as I could, and it looks like a pro job, doesn't it? Look like something from an 80s comic book. That's what I was going for. You see Hair Metal Doctor doing a dance and strumming his guitar in the spotlight over there. Looks awesome, doesn't it? Right. Now if we go over here again, as I said, here I can blow up the image a bit, and we can see the more of the background. You see all the stuff I put in there. You see you see this poster over here. You see doctor's instruments and stuff like that. It looks awesome. Right, looks pretty good. Looking damn good artwork. I really worked hard on this, and people have loved the way this looks and stuff. And as I said, the finished, well, this black and white version could also will be in, well, the colored version and the black and white version will be included with the Scumdogs graphic novel. Now I could include I could include the black and white line art of Hair Metal Doctor on a T-shirt as well, but the finished version here will be included. The entire thing will be printed on a T-shirt when I get it out there. You'll be able to buy it and have this print for a T-shirt. Now this will be good, huh? I might also include a few. Now there will be other pinups as well. I've already have the Breasty Melons one as too. But look out for Girl Friday, Buick Starpoon, Death Mug, Murder Mouth, and Sloppy. They'll also get their own pinups. Not to mention a few other characters as well. Let's see. Let's go down to the Breasty Melons pinup art. Looks good, don't it? Here's the black and white. And we can blow it up a bit and take a look at her face. I love the face on her. Doesn't she look so cool? And you can also see where I basically erased and redrew to get her pose right. Now, she was based on the Baroness from G.I. Joe, but she's a fun-loving girl, and you would really love to meet her. Now, this artwork looks good. And as you can see, the background is pretty damn great. I made it more cartoony looking like the other panel. But it's supposed to be at night, as you can see, with the being blacked out buildings and stuff. All right. It really came out well. Let's see. Look at this. Here's another page I really like. I love the way I paneled Death Mug's face here, how it looks cool as he gets angrier as he's being chewed out. You see him saying, "What?" And with energy coming out of his eyes here. You see down his throat. Now, you can't tell this, but when this is fully colored, his eyes will be completely green, as well as the interior of his mouth will be brightened up with green energy as his power flows out of him. All right. Let's look at this. Here we see the finished version, and it came out just great, like another 80s comic book. And as you can see, it's at night, and the stars in the background and stuff look like awesome. You start to see clouds, and it just came out very good looking. She's in an office building, in her own office building. Remember, Miss Breasty Melons is the CEO of her own company. All right. See here. Here's this artwork of Hair Metal Doctor's accessories. You see his doctor's coat. Let's see. We looked at this, and this. We also have this here and stuff, looking pretty good. All right. Gotta love these panels and stuff like that. They look so awesome. All right. There's this. Now let's go over here. All right, this and stuff. Looking pretty damn good. Now, let's go. We've been at this for 15 minutes. Let's have some fun. Let's go to Indiegogo. Get one of these up. We're at this for this and stuff. Let's see. Let's go over here. Let's go to Bounding into Comics to make sure we get and look at some news stories. DC Comics announces new roast H from Tom Can. No more screwing with popular characters. God, Batman gets a monstrous new form in Dark Knights Metal 2. Monstrous new form. Henry Cavill responds to the Gerald of Rivia criticism. Arthur Ray Porter responds to fans him to play Darkseid in Ava Dervin's New Gods. New rumor details will live action character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe will take on a live action character. Henry Cavill, let's see. Batman gets a nonchalant new form, Dark Knights of Death Metal 2. I think I'll go to something else right now. Just kind of see. Perfect. Right. Deadpool creator says Cable should have his own series. Well, Rob Liefeld says he should, Let's go down here. Former Mad Men star added for MCU's Gwen Stacy. Former Mad Men star reportedly eyed for Gwen Stacy. Wouldn't she be too young for that kind of role? Rob Liefeld doesn't understand why there's no Deadpool cartoon yet. Yeah, I know. Rob Liefeld says there may be another Deadpool movie. Right. Kill Bill Volume 3 fan made sees Zatanna out for revenge. Yeah. All right, let's see what to look at first. Let's look at this. Rob Liefeld, a comic book artist best known for creating the character of Deadpool, doesn't understand why the Merc with a Mouth hasn't gotten his own cartoon yet. He has a point too, considering that Deadpool is one of the most original, entertaining, beloved heroes ever invented. Thanks to the movie starring Ryan Reynolds, he's also more popular than he was ever before. Not to mention that Wade Wilson has proven himself to do in other forms of media too. That is quite true. I remember everything else he's done. And they were pretty good. I'm trying to remember what other things he's done. He's been in other comic books. He's been in several. He's been in several movies, and he's going to be in several more. All right. Hasn't his own cartoon yet. He has a point too. In 2013, Activision published a video game based on the character and his mythos on the previous generation of consoles, hailed by many as a preeminent representation of Deadpool. Even to Reynolds' own performance, it is setting a standard for meta self-referential storytelling that not only spared the films, but also provides a template for a potential cartoon. Self-aware cartoons are in higher demand than ever before. One example shows the Adult Swim Rick and Morty, which currently ranks as one of the most watched comedies in the entire world. Similar shows, I have my doubts about that. A lot of people aren't really liking Adult Swim anymore. Have also proven popular with younger audiences. But then again, Rick and Morty is popular. But then again, a lot of people have said that Adult Swim is on its way out. For instance, a series based on an atrocious video game, Sonic Boom managed to achieve critical acclaim through a highly self-aware script that mocked its zany premise and obnoxious fan base. In a recent interview with Collider, LaFille discussed the matter as if he were a wasted opportunity, one that entertainment executives should claim before it's too late, saying, really understand is given the earnings, why isn't there a Deadpool cartoon yet? Like I don't understand that, right? Interestingly, a Deadpool cartoon was actually in the works at one point in time. In fact, it was supposed to debut on FXX and be produced by none other than author and musician. However, it ultimately fell apart, and yet, as of yet, there's no word on whether we'll see the Merc on the small. On the this. Rob says there may be another Deadpool movie. Disney buyout of Fox couldn't have come at a better time for the X-Men and Fantastic Four. Both those properties had lost their way under the late studio. Not really. The X-Men movies, for the most part, were pretty good. Well, they were making money. They might not have been the best movies and stuff like that, but those people did enjoy them. It was and if you're talking about X-Men, what they did with their last X-Men movie, Disney pretty much lampooned that just so they can have an excuse to reboot the series. And I don't think it's going to work, especially what I've seen what they're doing. And and needed a reboot within the. No, I don't think they need a reboot within the MCU because the MCU will just trash them. A reboot. It's a different story for Deadpool, though, as the Merc with the Mouth had hit his groove coming in the back of DP2 off the back, and was set to head into both the next first team-up movie and Deadpool 3. Obviously, fans are looking forward to seeing Ryan Reynolds appear alongside the Avengers of the MCU, but Marvel taking over the reins has caused all the previous plans to be thrown out. While we've been told that another Deadpool movie is on the way, creator Rob Liefeld is now cast out on one actually. On a chat with Collider, the comic writer artist revealed his outlook on whether it will ever get made or not, saying, "You know what? There may be another Deadpool movie, and I'm fine because I have to live with the fact that I have two amazing experiences, two movies I'm extremely proud of. I love knowing everybody on these movies. I love Ryan Reynolds, Josh Brolin, Zazie Beetz, Josh Brolin, all of them. The work they did was a fan." Those movies are here to stand the test of time. You know that in the world we live in, nothing is guaranteed, and it makes a lot of time to make movies. And post-quarantine, it's true that it seems like Marvel isn't exactly fast-tracking at this stage. As Reynolds has also admitted, he's not sure what's happening on that front. No doubt there's a lot of debate going on behind the scenes over how best to handle Wade Wilson's infamous foul-mouthed antics within that family-friendly MCU. There's also been a lot of speculation of whether the threequel could retain its R rating. Or if Marvel would bring it down to PG-13. And that is one of the reasons they're really seriously talking about doing that. It's going to destroy the Deadpool movies, and they're idiots. If they, before you get too worried, though, you should all be aware that LaFille has not held back on his dislike of Disney on social media in the past. He's saying he'd rather Reynolds could do Green Lantern 2 than DP3 for the Mouse House. Meanwhile, CEO Bob Iger is basically up against the wall with everything that's happening with Disney. This is all a bunch of stuff and where they're going on about what's going on with Deadpool. Bob Iger is up against really in a bad place right now and probably looking for any way out of it. So Deadpool 3 is most likely probably going to sit on the shelf. Well, probably won't be made, especially not in our way to run, because I don't trust them to do that. Let me get back over here. But then again, maybe they will do it. Let's go over here. I looked at this. Let's see if anyone dropped in. 24 minutes. Didn't look like it. Let's go over here now. Yeah. Let's go to VG 24/7. Let's see. Paper Mario, the original King review. A perfectly cheerful game for miserable time. I don't know why you need for miserable. See this? Maybe. I think I'll look at something else. Let's go to PC Gamer. Oh, let's go to King Gamer first. Or maybe. Let's go to PC Gamer. Star Wars Squadrons cockpits will look like they were built in the 70s. All right. Let's take a look. Let's see this. Hotshot space jockeys will have 8 starfighters in their fingertips when Star Wars, the new game comes out. It goes live on October. 4 Imperial and 4 Rebel, each one belonging to a different class. That in itself isn't new, but today EA shared more about what each class can do, how pilots can get the most out of their machines, and how it's going to after recreate futuristic technology from a long time ago. It's not going to work, I think. The old fighters and games have power management systems that enable players to adjust the amount of energy going to weapons, engines, and in some cases shields, which imparts your fighter's performance. Accordingly, you can go faster, hit harder, or survive in your fighter longer as the situation demands. Squadrons will offer a similar system with an added bonus of overcharging, which will provide a significant bonus to damage output or shield strength up to double up an afterburner like speed boost. When the virulent system is maxed out, fighters that don't have shields, those belong to... Fighters that don't have shields, those bring all of the ties except the Reaper will instead be able to shift power between energy and weapons much more quickly than other ships. So giving them the ability to overcharge almost immediately rather than having to wait for things to charge up, which on paper makes them more adaptive. One shield are knocked out, or if they were never there, your hull will start taking a beating. Your ship will begin to become visibly damaged and eventually destroyed. Repairs are an option. However, by using astromech or other repair systems docking at flagships, or by getting a helping hand from support class fighters. This is what you'll be flying. A bunch of different types of ships. Fighters are your basic do-it-all ships. Reasonably tough, reasonably fast, reasonably nimble. Not great at anything, but good enough at everything that you can comfortably take them into pretty much any situation. Interceptors are class cannons. They move fast, hit hard, and blow up really easily. You don't want to ride one of these things into a sustained stand-up fight. Bombers are slow sluggers, capable of dealing and sustaining tremendous levels of damage and incapable of avoiding any incoming trouble. I have one question. Is this game going to be woke? I hope it isn't. And support fighters aren't really fighters at all, though they do have offensive weaponry. We can repair and resupply allied ships, use tractor beams to hamper enemies, and deploy mines and laser shards. Basically, they're the engineers of the squadron world. EA said a couple of weeks ago that squadrons will have a customizable HUDs and control schemes, but developers are also taking plans to ensure that each ship cockpit remains true to the original Star Wars. This means that then we to communicate the charge level of your lasers in the X-Wing, we designed the cockpit instruments for that as if we were Industrial Light and Magic building the prop in the 70s. Creative director Ian Fisher said, "We don't say put a red light there. We say if you needed to physically build that using the sorts of parts that ILM had, how would it be built? Is that a light bulb or an LED? How would it be integrated into the dashboard? And how would its light interact with everything around it? We ensure the screens are with appropriately curved monitors and so forth." That approach sounds great, quite a bit like when Creative Assembly did with Alien Isolation, which would really well, and it's encouraging to see EA coming at it from a similar angle. It's really easy to forget that Star Wars was nearly 50 years ago. After all, I'm still iffy on the whole plastic Ewok on the dashboard. 50 years ago was 42 years ago. Jeez. This guy doesn't know anything. I think he just sprouted this stuff. 52 years ago? 50 years ago? It's 42 years ago. I mean, I made a mistake here. But then again, maybe I'm just being a little angry about this. Let's see. Look at this. PC Gamer. Let's go over to King Gamer now. Take a look at this. Doesn't look like we too much here. Google Australia. God of War, how to complete. Ghost of Just Cause Movie Land's director and writer. We're talking about this again, huh? I mean, I could go on and talk about how Just Cause movie as it related to director, but I don't think I will. All right, looked at this. Let's see, look at some other stuff. Oh, yeah. Let's go over to Screen Rant. Every Marvel villain Iron Man created, MCU. How old Palpatine is in each Star Wars, blah, blah, blah. All 8 powers Godzilla has in which version? All right. This looks boring. Constantine director talked to Keanu Reeves recently about doing a sequel. All right, let's go to here. All 8 power Godzilla. Atomic breath isn't the king of the monsters' only ability. Here are all of Godzilla's powers and which versions of the characters and which versions of characters. All right. Godzilla has several powers, but some are unique to certain versions of the characters known as the king of the monsters since the 1950s. The Japanese pop culture icon. Yeah, I guess his tail beam won't come out till the Shin Godzilla era, huh? Is a force to be reckoned with, and he has clashed with humanity and giant monsters on multiple occasions. Most of what makes Godzilla such a tremendous threat to human civilization and his fellow kaiju is his size, ruthlessness in combat, and immense strength. But Godzilla is also supported by a number of powers that can aid him in battle. Godzilla's powers have largely depended on the movie and the series they're from. Considering that are so many different interpretations of the character, the most prominent versions of Godzilla are the ones that appeared in the Showa 1956, 1977. To Heisei 1984 to 1995 and the Millennium 2000 to 2004 eras, in addition to Hollywood's latest take on him, the Monster. So let's get Godzilla. Why the King doesn't respond to Chora's call and King. His abilities vary because filmmakers have a tendency to reimagine Godzilla every few years. When that happens, he gets a new look and a slight change to his physical capabilities. Many of Godzilla's characteristics have remained constant throughout the decades, such as his association with nuclear weapons and overall design, but there are other aspects that have been introduced in one movie and abandoned in the next. So that's sometimes Godzilla's power. Atomic breath. Godzilla's trademark powers is atomic breath, an ability that he's had since the original 1954 film. Godzilla's 1954 film, Godzilla's atomic breath, which should never be confused with fire, has been used by every version of Toei's Godzilla as well as the Monster versus version. It's an incredibly powerful beam attack that normally resembles a blast of blue fire. Godzilla creates it by gathering the radio energy within his body and emanating it from his mouth. It's much hotter and more dangerous than fire, as it can easily melt through any structure. Godzilla targets, plus it can do significant burnt harm to his enemies. As official Godzilla guidebook has stated, the atomic breath is a temperature of 500,000 degrees. Flight. Yeah, this is where he basically breathes his atomic breath and flies. It's stupid. Metal manipulation. Oh yeah, there's also this. In 1974, Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, the king of the monsters was up against his robotic counterpart, who proved to be quite a challenge. And Godzilla and King Caesar were struggling to beat him until a thunderstorm erupted. After being repeatedly bombarded with lightning, Godzilla somehow turned into a magnetic force. Godzilla was able to magnetically pull numerous metal objects to his body. He was able to reel in Mechagodzilla, who was incapable of escaping Godzilla's magnetic pull. Thanks to this strange and unexplained power, Mechagodzilla was swiftly defeated. This was the first and only time Godzilla has made use of this power. Regeneration. Godzilla has always possessed quick healing, but his ability to heal heal actually became a major plot point in 1990 series. It was said that Godzilla's Godzilla versus Biollante cells, known as G cells, have regenerative qualities that allow his body to quickly repair itself. The injuries that Godzilla sustains in battle generally stick around for the remainder of the fight, but they're usually gone in time for Godzilla's next battle. These G cells were later used to create both Biollante and Space Godzilla, and their regenerative abilities are what made both villains so hard to kill. Nuclear pulse. The atomic bomb is what created toes Godzilla, mutating him and filling him with radioactive power. Godzilla releases this energy through his atomic breath, but Godzilla versus Violence revealed that he can emit it in other ways. If Godzilla is in a situation that calls for something more wide-reaching than a blast of atomic breath, he can charge up and release a nuclear pulse, which is an attack that releases a wave of atomic energy from his body. This wave obliterates anything in the vicinity. Originally, this ability was exclusive to Heisei Godzilla, but that changed in Godzilla King of the Monsters. After a power-up from Mothra transformed into a burning Godzilla, he used the two nuclear pulse attacks to finish off Chidora. The second blast was so powerful that it destroyed Chidora's body, leaving nothing behind but its head. Spiral Heatway. Both Heisei and William version of Godzilla, the Spiral Heatway. It made its first appearance in Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah when Godzilla hit the three-headed monster with a blue beam that was surrounded by a lightning bolt-shaped spiral. While charging up the attack, his back spikes sparkled with blue lightning. Since it was strong enough to destroy one of King Ghidorah's heads, it's clearly a bit more effective than his standard atomic breath. The attack was seen again 2 years later in Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2, when it received an upgrade courtesy of Rodan. In the 1993 film, Godzilla was on the brink of death when Mechagodzilla used an electrified harpoon-like weapon to attack Godzilla's real weakness, his second brain. Since the brain controlled Godzilla's movement, he was paralyzed and gravely wounded. He was revived after Rodan arrived and provided him with what was left of his life force. Rodan's energy reconstructed Godzilla's brain and completely rejuvenated him. Unfortunately for Mechagodzilla, Rodan's power had an unexpected positive side effect. It gave Godzilla a new beam attack. It was originally similar to what he used in Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, except it was a red instant instead of blue. The red spiral heat ray is the most powerful attack Godzilla has in his arsenal. It was because of the red spiral heat ray that Godzilla was able to defeat 3 of his most powerful foes ever: Mechagodzilla, Space and Destroya. It made a return into the Godzilla franchise when it was used to save the Earth from an asteroid, Godzilla Final Wars. Atomic rays. Shin Godzilla presented an audience with a strictly different version of Godzilla who had more abilities than all previous versions. Let's see. Godzilla can transform his body. Godzilla went through several transformations as Shin Godzilla. At one point, he actually resembled a giant eel. His body was able to adapt to certain situations, evolve at the movie. After going through a few forms, he finally resembled a creature that could be recognized as Godzilla. It was said in the movie that if Godzilla continued to evolve, he would have grown wings. This ability defied the conventions of the franchise and is unlikely to make another appearance, especially since Toho is moving from Shin. All right. Not bad. Looked at that. Let's see. 37 minutes in. Ooh! Aloha, Bianca fights a zombie. Nice to see you here. You, Johnny, yo. Ultraman, how's the day? Bianca, gang banging and slapping. You, Johnny, today or a couple of weeks ago, he almost think he looked like an Ash Ketchum low, but I'm jealous of him. He could do better than me. Or should I not think that way? I mean, I don't know. I'm still jealous of him. How can I stop my jealous? Can you look at the chat? Hey. Nice for both of you to join me, and thank you for giving me something to talk about. Thank you both for joining us, and keep talking and give me some other stuff to talk about as well. Let's keep going. 602. All right, let's see this. Yeah, it's Screen Rant right here. Looked at this. Let's go over to, let's see, any other stuff we can look at? Let's try Game Revolution. Here we are. Let's see about this. No Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. Didn't say. How annoying. The Last of Us 2. I'll just let you remove. I don't see anything I really want to look at here. No Man's Sky update teaser puts fans in a frenzy. I don't think so. Let's go over to Bleeding Fool. Bleeding Fool. Let's see. Indie Comic Showcase is black and white and unstitched. It's this. All right, let's see this. All right, let's take a look at this. There we are. Black, white, Hellside, and unstitched. Welcome back to another some of the Indie Comic Showcase, this weekly blog where we signal boost a few truly independent comics that are currently crowdfunding their projects, crowdsourcing their funding in some ways, or just completely self-publishing on their own. Every little bit of support for these creators matters, from a single dollar pledge to the $25 bundle. And of course, the higher tiers are usually fun too. Even if you can't pack a campaign or buy a book, you can share or tweet about the projects to your friends. On Indie Comics Showcase, the creators show off some art and tell you how you can check on the project for yourself. Below, we have some outstanding crowdfunding campaigns this week for you to learn about, enjoy, and hopefully support by backing one or more of them. Thanks for checking these out and for being the best part of the Indie Comics Showcase. Hail Salad. Yeah, this looks good. I did love the artwork we looked at currently. Retelling the story of the Iliad, the Trojan War against the early days of those. Chris, tell your readers your elevator pitch for Hail Salad. Briefly tell us readers what it's about and give us some background. Well, the comic for Hail Salad is a loose retelling reimagining the Iliad, but told through the cartoon comedy stylings CG popularized. YouTube cartoon of the same name. He recounts the early days of CG, the alliances forged, and the decimation of CG detractors, internet trolls, and would-be saboteurs. Aptly titled Hail Salad, the Trojan War. You're a bit of a renaissance man, aren't you? Comics, YouTube, pop culture commentary series, Camel Moon, and now animation. What drives this creativity? Which do you like best? I've done a ton of the past 15 years, actually. I've created about 10 indie flicks, won a few film festivals for documentaries I was the sole editor on. I've had gallery openings for paintings, collections I've done in Greenwich, and Double Toasted to come for years as a commentator, and only recently started an internet. And I'm like a creative shark, always moving on to no time to go down. I think that holds true for a lot of creative people. The ideas just keep coming. It's like a running faucet. You can't stop. Yeah, running faucet. I don't know if I have one particular process I enjoy over others, but if I had to choose, I'd say I always come back to comics. It's the one mainstay throughout my life. No matter what other projects I was taking on, I always had a comic going on in the back burner. With Hail Salad, I've created an IP that can be translated into cartoon and comic and eventually even a video game. What inspired this project? Tell us how it all came. I was actually working on a comic called Boots and Heels. I will be launching probably sometime next year, and I was drawing it. I was listening to EVS on YouTube. Some of the episodes were so funny that back and forth between the crew has started to remind me of early episodes of Space Ghost. For whatever reason, I felt compelled to create a simple 5-minute vignette with rough assets I built essentially overnight and laid out in audio. Caps as the voices of Space Ghost, Brack, and Moltar. It was rough and terrible, but that was the sort of charm. I made the entire episode in 2 days and then super chatted that I posted this video on YouTube. I honestly thought people would think it was kind of lame, but to my surprise, the response was so very positive. I blew up in a mere hours. I got 400 subs overnight, now over 2,000 subs in the following months. People watched the first episode, something that I had them asking me to do an Indiegogo campaign for more episodes. However, that turned out to be problematic. I decided to go ahead with it, and EVS, Cecil, and John Willing all supported the project. About a week into the campaign, I received a G&D order from Warner Brothers saying that the campaign and characters were too similar to a Hanna-Barbera cartoon, regardless of it being parody, and the campaign was canceled, and my EGG account was suspended. I decided then to create something wholly original that had the same spirit and feeling of late night 2000s Adult Swim property, using the established personality traits of the CG crew and the built-up lore generated by the time on air. I was able to pull something together relatively quickly. The Space Ghost cartoon felt like a practice run. I was able to cut my teeth on to launch with something stronger, and that became the single overnight success that turned into my cartoon. Is the goal of the campaign to pay for the production time or the animated series, or is it strictly for the comic book? Time is money spent, so regardless of whatever monies are collected for the property, it all goes in the same pot on the end. Any and all money generated from campaign will go to the creation of further content, for whether that be in the form of more episodes, comics, or the creation of merchandise. It all runs together for me, and I just love doing it. I'm 200% in every facet of creation for Health South. So if I can find a way to keep it going, I'll always be working on it. Yeah. Who's helping you on the creative? So really, no one is involved with the creation of the cartoon outside of people allowing me to use their voices. EVS, Malin, all I have helped promote the cartoon as well as soon as it's live. It's a great feeling to know I have the support and get to watch it live with the fans, though. There are live streams about once a month. I get to premiere a new episode with everyone, and seeing how much they enjoy brings people, because incredibly everyone getting paid for the cartoon and comic would be great. But I wouldn't have done it in this long now, 6 months for free, if I didn't bring me so much joy creating and releasing it for others to have. As cliche as it sounds, that's a real reward. How much of the Comicsgate philosophy will see implemented in the series, or is it more focused on character? That's a great question. I actually tried to keep this show as apolitical as possible. Good. As apolitical as possible. The show is apolitical as possible. I actively abstain from every mention in comics in any form in the cartoon. It's about the characters. I don't want to engage with haters over ideologies, picking sides. The point of the cartoon is to create a fun space for anyone to jump on. Fun space for anyone to jump. You don't need to be a CG or even follow CG to appreciate and enjoy the show. Yes, there are inside jokes, but it only would enhance the episode. It's not necessary to understand it. In a way, though, the lack of pulling punches and attempts to push the envelope comedically by means of not caring who you offend or have a political agenda attached to a narrative is very much the heart of what Comicsgate and the movement is. It seems especially pungent now that in today's overly PC culture, where movies are being edited or stricken from streaming platforms, or people are being canceled for having opinions that differs from the mainstream. For many, Hail Salads seems to be a breath of fresh air and a way to counter that rhetoric. And by the maker, you could suggest that Hail Salad embodies the very way that is CG and a sort of meta kind of. What else can you share about the project or the campaign? Do you have any final words for your readers? I think in the end, people are always vote about with their wallet. Welcome me with open arms, and I'm grateful for them for that. I want to thank the top guys like EVS, Fraga Cecil, EVS Fraga, EVS Fraga, and for always having my back. But mostly I want to thank the community who knew what was supposed to be a throwaway, one-off Space Ghost homage would have turned into this. It's surreal and exhilarating at the same time. I think my success in CG is a bit of a Cinderella story for the group. It's something special because it's content created by for the fans. It puts me in a unique spot, but that's what makes the cartoon so accessible. And it gives me broad appeal. There's no crabs that are in a bucket mainly here, and I'm not the 20-something-year veteran in the comics. For my entire life, I wanted to draw comics professionally, and Comicsgate gave me that chance when others wouldn't. It doesn't care about what color you dyed your hair or look, or exploit the identity in a way that makes them look good. I found an audience that can't wait for the next episode. I found an audience that can't wait for the next episode. Issue 1 creates and rewards, and others like me for the work I produce versus the politics you imbue. Yeah, I'm very lucky to be part of that. I like to give things out to either Bancroft or Geek Chorus, Michael Bancroft, Michael Bancroft, all of their help and support with the cartoon. I like Black and White. Were serialized across multiple titles before receiving their own series in 2018. Turbot Berlin launched the creators, but for a remastered and expanded hardcover graphic novel, successfully crowdfunded through Indiegogo. Thanks for chatting with me, Art, briefly. Get our readers cut up to Black and White and give me some background. Okay. Reed Brackett is an ex-MI agent looking for a new life and meets Beverly Eris Sung, a beautiful, headstrong woman with a 100 past. When her family reenters her life, Reed knows that he must step back into a role he had hoped to leave behind in order to save her and her sanity. These characters were created in a single afternoon. Pamela and I had gone to Bruce Lee auction many years ago. On the way home, while we're talking about the life of Bruce Lee, the characters of Whitney and Reed just fell into our minds, and they emerged as Black and White. Oh, good artwork. Classic stuff. Now, this isn't your first crowdfund. This isn't your first crowdfund. This is your first crowdfund campaign for this comic. In fact, this project was successfully backed once before, and this is just a second chance for those that missed it, right? What are you learning from crowdfunding creating through this process? We have more chats. Let's take a look. I'm still jealous. How can I stop my jealous? 602. All right. Still no chats, but that's fine. Second chance. The chance campaign. Crowdfunding campaigns are tricky for me because I have trouble with time. Things always take way longer to complete than I believe they will. When I'm setting things up, I'm pretty much a perfectionist, so I just let even minor details go. I have to make the projects. I do the very best that I can to do at that moment in time. I'm learning with every new campaign. So please, everyone, stay with me. All right. I first heard about you when you were heavily sought after inker. Tell our readers about some of your comics career highlights. I would have to say that a highlight of my career was doing finishes over Dan Jurgens on Adventures of Superman. I mean, what an iconic characters to have worked on. My next highlight was getting to work on the X Office with such greats as Jim Lee, Wallace Patricio, and Rob Liefeld. Talk about a major high. The whole industry was going through a major growth spurt, and my work being put out back then was innovative and amazing. It was a phenomenal time to be in comics. Trust me, the excitement during that time brought in constant feelings of newness in the industry. I still can't believe that I got to follow Jim Lee and pencil X-Men numbers 12 and 13. Then I hoped right back into penciling Cable number 1 after that. As if those times weren't enough, I then moved onto a little jump up company. That's where I was given the opportunity to really create characters and stories. Black and White and Chrono Mechanics came out of those years. How important is this project to you? Basically, I eat, sleep, dream, about the characters and work, then I repeat that should tell you about those characters mean to me. I'm very excited to bring this robot battling dynamic duo. What can your fans look at for from you after this campaign ends? Did I hear you've got some new adventures planned for the comic? For the plan for the characters? I'm working on volume 2 of Black and White now, so I hope everyone keeps their eyes out for more of their adventures. I have many adventures planned for these two. I'm also going to put out volume 2 Oodles and other stuff. Of course, we can't forget all the misadventures of our time repairmen. All right. Who, if any, of the other creators have contributed to this? I see Greg Capullo cover. That's awesome. Tell our Greg Capullo cover. That's awesome. Tell our readers how that came about. Tyler, let's see, was my studio mate for the issue of Black and White, and my wife Pamela is always going for the right. And so, to my way of thinking, no Hack Shack project would be complete without if Jeff Elkaberry or letters and what to say about Greg Capullo. He's an awesome guy doing in the mid-90s. He and I seem to end up on all the same conventions, and we got to hang out and get to know one another. We were both working on our creator-owned projects, and we would ask me about inking, and I, of course, would ask him for penciling tips. We used to have many late-night conversations when we picked each other's brains. I asked him to do a black and white pinup. He agreed as long as I did the inking. So the beautiful cover you see is from the collaboration effort. Great times. What else can you share about the project? Please check out the campaign. The tiers have been amazing. Items such as an oversized poster with a new piece of artwork and showcase black and white in their fine glory. The piece is called Total Bot Annihilation. We also have 3 graphic novels to choose from, and even a blast from the original campaign in the form of an amazing set of stretch goals that we brought into this campaign. Those are add-on section when you check out and are included in certain tiers. They're really something for everyone. Always want to thank the people who love comics and keep new stories and new characters alive. There's that. Unstitched. Could look at Unstitched, I suppose. How far into this are we getting? 54 minutes? Not bad. I could look at Unstitched here. I want to check out something else first. Let's go here. Disney Star Wars is dumb. I just want to see this. Interview with Dennis Perrin on StarWarsInterviews.com. I introduced. Right. So we know what's going on there. Now I'll go to Unstitched. I just wanted to take a look if there was anything good there. I'll finish off this here before I do anything else, or at least read some of this. Unstitched. Let's see here. Welcome to Indie Comic Showcase. Justin, tell us what Unstitched is. Children have big dreams and big imaginations. Unfortunately, the darkness preys on those dreams and imaginations using fear. A new Teddy must try to defend Eleanor in her night light, keeping the darkness at bay without becoming unstitched. Tell us about any previous work in comics or art and how you've brought your experiences to Virgin and how it all came together. I went to school for 3D animation, but kind of sucked at it, though. I used those skills to comics. I had a few years back in about 2000 saved up for a comic and sadly got in a really bad car crash that ate up that money. A couple of years later, I got my settlement check and tried again until my sister told me to make a comic for my niece instead. I loved how old Don Bluth films as a kid. I always wanted to children's tales to have that feeling of being something of a little darker to kids, so kids and adults could, for kids and adults. Tell us a little more about the story. It's titles, Part 1, Part 2. What type of readers will enjoy it, and what do you think comic book readers will most like about it? So, Unstitched Part 1 of 2 is the first half of the tale, 48 pages, which all the art is currently complete, and the second half will be around 56. Those that enjoy Toy Story and Coraline will get a kick out of Unstitched, as I've blended the two together from Laura Rumpus. Blended the two together on this to. This is so fresh, unique, and it just feels like an animated movie on page. Tell us about your creative team and any other creators that have contributed to this. How did you bring this team together? Laura Rambazzi is an amazing artist whose style is a mix of Candy Tartakovsky and Powerpuff Girls, Samurai Jack, and comic artist Scotty Young. We have the busiest and best letterers in comics with Eric Weathers to make sure everything is top-notch. I got mad luckily to get Jason Brubaker to do a killer variant cover. What else can you share about the project? What do you think is best? Anything unique you might offer in this campaign? All 48 pages in this art are complete already before hitting funding. We also have a retail bundle that gives us shops 6 copies of the book 3, each covers 6 mini prints, and I'm offering returnability buybacks for the shops. The Dreamer tier, which is the further tier, the best deal, the consumer will get it. Laura's cover, Brubaker cover, fold-up poster, and a mini print for the most unique thing. And besides my retail bundle, with buyback is our higher tier. Big Dreamer gives everything in the Dreamer tier, plus a glow-in-the-dark eyes custom teddy bear based on Boogeyman. On Stitches all ages, and to give back to children, we even have a children's hospital bundle where 6 books and all profits, and that goes to charity. All right. Thanks for Justin. Good luck, and we are rooting for you. All right, let's go now. All right, we got here. All right. I interview with Dennis Peregrine of StarWarsInterviews.com. I interviewed Dennis Peregrine, who runs a Star Wars Interviews website. Dennis is a former assistant to Anthony Daniels and has published 3 books full of interviews with Star Wars and Lucasfilm. We discussed his interviews with actors, authors, and crew members. We also discussed his experience with Lucasfilm, the difficulties of working with Lucasfilm after Disney took over, and the similarities to experience with Lucasfilm, as remarked about by Star Wars author J.W. Winslow. I guess we're done with that. Let me go down here. Let's take a look. Go down here. I guess down here. Ah, here we are. Let's go look at this. Values didn't extend to Orion Black. Yeah, no news thing on that, I suppose. I could take a look at this. Let's go over here. Any other stuff we can look at? Trying to find something. IGN, I suppose. Maybe. Though we're also on here. We have more people watching us. Thank you for dropping into Scumdog's Kennel. We looked at some news for a while. Now let's go over maybe and look at some other stuff. Let's take a look at this. Do as you're told. The Ballad of No Comic Book. 49,699. 2 days left. All right. The Berserker Knot is at 8,509. Ethan Van Sciver's Cyberfrog 2 Wrecked Planet. It's at 1 million and 1 million over $1 million now. Let's go over here. Vestige. Monster Matador Tango. All right. Another case for the Littlest Umbrella, which is at 138,855. Wow. T-Bird and Throttle, final and collected edition, is at 18,200 in its first 30 days. It's got 4 days left, so it's going to, as I said, it's made well over 16,000 now. Once Upon a Frying Pan 72-page trade. This looks like a good book. Oh yeah, and there's also Mighty Mascots, which is at 16,049. Camel Moon's Hell Salad is at 22,822. All right, let's see this. Hexcraft Mechanics 2 doesn't have a trailer up, does it? Let's take a look at this. I wonder what went wrong today, Factions of Chicago's supernatural community come to blows over money, power, and vengeance. And this is the second issue of the series, and it's already made, well, 25 USD. It's going for 1,500. It's got 57 days left, and it should be pretty good. Hopefully it gets some backing. The artwork, as I've said, isn't the best artwork, but it's good for what it is. All right, we looked at that. Let's take a look at Unhinged Entertainment, which is at $3,920 with 6 days left. Cecil, Cash Grab, the graphic novel by Cecil. Take a look at that, or we could take a look at something else. All right. Let's take a look at T-Bird and Throttle real quick. Maybe. Forgot about it. Where are you? The Lost Pages. Don't see it. The Lost Pages, 19,194. 13 days left. Let's take a look at this trailer.
The Lost Pages, in the minds and hands of Zade Comics, comes the first book in their connected universe of heroes, with a cover by legendary illustrator Simon Bisley. The Lost Pages is the story of a magical book in the hands of a homeless man. Within it are tales lost to time of heroes from different eras and walks of life, all protecting humanity from evil. As the word of the book is spoken around a trash fire, new crusaders of justice will be revealed to this world. A supernatural vigilante on the hard streets of Chicago named the Silhouette. An ancient sorcerer battling horrific myth on the high seas known as Wild Card. A modern-day mental monster in the mind of a bodybuilder babe, Creamstone. and a pulp hero from the 1930s, a master of disguise donning the mask of the masquerade. This is just the beginning, for in the future these heroes and more will come together to write the end of the world. But for now, the ink of life flows on every page. Will you be there to read it? Only on Indiegogo.
And that was the trailer. This comic book is doing good. It's got 19,194, and it just needs a little. It's got. This is its second 30 days, isn't it? 13 days left. It looks pretty damn good, and then it's going into demand. So I can't say enough. This book deserves to be funded. I plan to fund for the $50 tier, the perk. Both books and signed book plus bonus comic book. The bonus comic keeps growing. And I love the artwork here. Look at that cover. Looking very great. Let's see this. All right. Let's go over here real quick. You know what? Let's have some. Let's go over to there and go over to some other stuff. There's let's look what I have. Ooh. Cranium trading card, Rect Plant freebie. Ooh. I guess he just tweeted that out 1 hour ago. Oh, it looks pretty damn good. I think I'll take a screenshot of that. Let's go over now to tag Comicsgate. I looked at that for Indiegogo's to look at. I saw a few, as well as this one right here. Let's take a look at this trailer. I find it really fun. Going for $500, it's got $55. This is about a bunch of food characters, cartoon characters in hell, with a guy with a guy with a bag over his head. Let's take a look at the trailer for it. It looks really funny, don't you think? That was Once Upon a Frying Pan. It just looks like a really good cartoon. Huh? We have a hero here who is the bag on his head with a magic frying pan with his his friends who are cartoon characters who are made of food. That looks good. Let's take a look at this sample. We see our hero. Wonder how long this chain is. Hey, man, nice chain. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, you can have it if you want it. Nah, but I'll take your money. Whoa, I didn't expect to rob a guy with a bag on his head and a frying pan, did you? The craziest thing, though, is they had me cooking burgers and the meat was talking to me. These burgers you were cooking, the meat was in fact made with human souls. That's kind of what we do down here, kid. And some people think day after day, week after week, year after year, for all eternity is a bit mundane. But I don't look at it that way, little buddy. Nope. I look at it as a fresh opportunity every day to be creative at what I do best, and that is terrorizing, playing with the souls of humans. In a sense, I feel like I'm just starting to really get good at it with what I've spent eternity doing. It's quite exciting to think of where I'll be just 5 years creatively, and technically the future is so bright, I'll tell you, kid, I have to wear shades. Zoo. Ripping through this fabric of time and space, and a trajectory who knows where, parallel dimensions perhaps. Where was the pan going? Did the pan man finally escape fast food hell once and for all? And we have some more artwork, and this looks great. Huh. This looks like a good comic book. It deserves to be fun. A 72-page PDF copy, $5. Trade paperback and PDF, $15. Ooh. How long is this book anyway? It's a 72-page graphic novel. Yeah, it's a pretty good price for a 72-page graphic novel. Yeah, I definitely got to think about funding this, and it deserves to be funded. All right. The Superwoman of her publishing art book, pinups by an amazing spectrum of international. The Superwoman art book. Oh, Superwoman of heroic publishing art book, pinups by amazing spectrum of international artists. 80 USD, 70,000. Flair. Okay, I'm just going to skip ahead a bit to the actual artwork they're going to show off in this book. Let's go to here. This is what we'll be getting. Yeah. I don't know, should be happy seeing her here, Captain Marvel and stuff, but we also have this artwork here as well. There's Wonder Woman. Oh. Ooh. I mean, some of this artwork is great. Very nice. And maybe I should move it on a bit. Very, very nice artwork. What do we have here? Very nice. Try this. Go back over here, maybe. This is all very good artwork. As it said, this book is basically a bunch of pinup art that's been around for years, been collected. If you fund this book, you'll get this book, and you'll be getting it from great artists. Patreon of the Arts, $1 Digital copy of the art book, $20 One copy of the art book, $50 I think $50 for this book is good because of all the pinup art in it, it looks beautiful from these great artists, as it said in the video. I'm just going to move ahead because I don't have much time left. Now we're 13 minutes in. Let's go look at some other stuff. So some other campaigns. There's Cash Grab, Extreme Champion Tournament Fractured World, which has 11 days left. It's made $135. It's got a flexible goal. Got 11. Doesn't look too bad. As I said, Extreme Champion Tournament. This is a new and exciting graphic novel within the XCT universe. This is about a bunch of fighters who these are a bunch of famous figures from history who are basically taken to the future and then fight it out to the death in a huge tournament. It's got some incredible great artwork, and it looks like it's a fun time to read this book. I mean, look at it. Yeah, this looks like one hell of a good looking book. This was Champion Tournament, Fractured World. Extreme Champion Tournament. I took a look at that real quick. There's the lost pages. Show more. Ooh, More Lethal has made $2,325 and still through in demand. We also have Butch Cleaver, which has made $1,200. There's also Anna right there. Chronicles of Calamity, which has made $4,504. It's got only a few hours. It's only got a few days left. Let's take a look at it.
Take heed, junior adventurers, for it be the Chronicles of Calamity. The mighty tales of everyone's favorite incompetent adventurers will soon be available to hold in your hands. In this wondrous comic book adventure, filled to the brim with action, magic, and assholes. Straight from the Tales of the Authors and Dragons podcast, join a host of unlikely heroes as they fight evil for fame and profit. Might, magic, morons. In this sumptuously illustrated tome, you'll meet seedy bards, gentle-hearted barbarians, insane paladins, inept rogues, and sexually attractive monks. Foul-mouthed and barely qualified, the first issue sees our heroes united by unlikely circumstances. A demonic invasion. Can they defeat the evil and survive the night, or will they fuck everything up? Maybe both. For just a handful of your mortal monies, you could have the first issue of this ongoing saga delivered directly to your peasant hovel. Illustrated by John Luther Davis, colored by John Segura III, and created and adapted by the Authors and Dragons crew. Be sure to back this exciting and somewhat titillating enterprise today.
And that was the Chronicles Calamity. It's $4,504. It was going for $2,000, but it's made $4,504. It's got 32 hours left, and it's just going to make even more money now. This book is coming out, and I'll probably back it too. It'll maybe get another 30 days, and I hope it does. Then it'll go in demand. This looks good. All right, let's go over here, and we're an hour and 18 minutes in. So remember, folks, go and subscribe to Stitch Together Picks. It's a YouTube channel hosted by the Maniacal Cinephile. His reviews are great. You'll love his reviews of movies. He plays this character called the Maniacal Cinephile. He's just fun as hell to watch. Also, go over to Creepy Little Book. They're like the Art Bell radio show. Creepy Little Book does live streams nightly with his friends, who are other popular YouTubers. You'll get Fedorable to Horrible, Tina, and Mecha Random 42. They constantly come on his show, and they have a bunch of fun. They talk about aliens and ghosts. So go and subscribe to Creepy Little Book. Also, go and subscribe to Robot Co-op. They're like Mystery Science Theater 3000. They do these live streams where with these robots, and they play video games. They are fun as hell. You'll laugh and laugh as they make fun of these games. You'll just enjoy this show. That's Robot Co-op. Also, go and subscribe to my own YouTube channel. Read comics, they're bad for you. And also go and subscribe to my channels on BitChute and Library. They're both under the name Comic Freak. Well, I'm going to thank you all for joining me for the Scumdogs Kennel. I'll be sure be sure to come back tomorrow around 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock for another live stream. I'll be back again then. I'm going to thank you all for joining me tonight. Thank you all, and I'll be back again tomorrow around 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, okay? I'm Chris Williams, so yeah, I'll see you all again then. See you later, folks.